some football, and we play baseball, softball. So, and you know, it took quite a few people to play softball. So the kids in the neighborhood, and then the Thompson kids came down from 60th and N up there, and the girls and the boys played that game together because you needed people, you know, like Joyce, Janice Thompson, and let's see who would have been the other girls. That might, boy, that might have been it. Might have been it. But they were good kids, and we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun playing ball there across the street.
Didn't you used to light tires so you could see at night?
Yeah, that we would do. We couldn't see to play ball because we didn't have enough tires, but we play something. I don't remember what it was, but it would be right down here in the park, right down there by that cottonwood tree. And these two cottonwood trees that you see out here now, this one out here and the one across the street, they were both here when we moved here in 1952. They're pretty old trees.
Wow, they're huge.
Yeah. And then when we got older, got a car, we'd go to the drive-in and fill it up, throw a couple of them in the trunk so they didn't have to pay. You know.
Is that where Uncle Kevin learned that trick?
Well, I guess, I don't know. So,
What was your first car? Was it a 1949 Oldsmobile?
no,
What?
1949 Chevy.
Okay.
Then the next car was 1953 Oldsmobile. Now I think your Uncle Slick, I think he learned to drive and I'm sure I taught him to drive because I was older, and I'm sure he learned to drive in that Chevy. And then the 53 Oldsmobile, your mother, Joan Marie, her mom never let her drive. So she didn't know how to drive, and I taught her how to drive that Oldsmobile. I did it, and your grandmother took your mother, my mother, your grandmother took your mother and my wife, took her to get her driver's license when she.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was nice.
Her mother, yeah. Oh, your grandma, Bert. She was a wonderful woman.
Yeah, of course.
And but see, Joan's mother wouldn't take her. Joan's mother wouldn't even teach her.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten about that, but Joni told me that. I asked her.
Well, since we're talking about that, your paper route and then teaching Mom how to drive, tell us how you met Mom on your paper route.
Oh, every day I'd bring the paper, she'd run out to get a peek at me.
Yeah.
She'd tell you a different story,
Yeah,
but that's how we met.
I think Grandma Scott said she'd say, "Here comes that scrawny, that skinny kid carrying the paper."
Yeah,
she'd
she probably
run.
said that. But you know your grandma Scott.
She liked to exaggerate.
Oh, she wasn't exaggerating. Yeah, so.
Okay, so you met
But
Mom.
you know what? Yeah, let me tell you something. I'm going to jump ahead here. So
Okay, that's fine.
But you know, there was a time when we came back. You know, she didn't like us moving.
Grandma Scott.
Yeah, she didn't like Grandma. But she did say one time. She said this to me. Nobody else was around. It was over there in her. I think it was in her. I don't know if it was in her house or what, the trailer house or what it was. And this almost brought me to tears because the woman didn't. Not that I wasn't an all right guy, I guess, but she didn't want anybody messing with her kids. She said, "I want to thank you for taking care of my daughter and my grandkids."
Wow.
Took a long time to get that. Yeah,
Yeah. Grandma Scott, she was a tough one, wasn't she?
yes, she was.
And then she lets you know that she appreciated what you did for her daughter and her kids,
Yeah.
grandkids. Very nice.
Yeah. Probably one of the nicest comments or compliments I've ever gotten. And probably one of the hardest,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for her to do.
Wow.
But then, no, she had me bury all of her kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess all's well that ends well. But I was really good to her daughter. Whew.
Yeah, when they say when you marry someone, you marry their family, and that's true, isn't it?
Was in this case,
Mm-hmm.
it was in this case. So, yeah, it was all right.
After all those years and all that stuff,
Yeah. So she said.
she made her peace. That's good.
But you know what?
Because she was pretty angry with you when you moved us away from here, wasn't she?
Oh boy. Well, she would have been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And I understand that, but there wasn't anything else I could do. God calls, you go, you know?
Yep.
And I never regret going. I never regret answering God's call. Because, no, you can handle things that God calls you to. You can. So, but anyway, what's your next question? So,
Okay, back to the 1950s.
Okay.
Tell us some stories about your brothers and sisters. Tell us what was Christmas like? What was
Well, Christmas.
or 4th of July? What was the big holidays for you?